radical equations here. So we have square root of 5x to the second power minus 3x equals to 2x, right? So the first thing we got to do always when we have this is we're thinking about how do we remove the radical first, all right? But before we do that, we got to make sure that it's by itself. One side of the equal sign, correct? So if it is, then we can take the square of both sides. In this case, it is. So that's even great. So let's go for it. So we can take the square of these two sides. And once we do that, what's happening? 2 out, radical out. So we end up with 5x to the second power minus 3x, and that is equal to what? So 2x to the second power, that will give us what? 4x to the second power. Now we got to combine like terms. We have 4x squared, which is a like term with 5x squared, correct? So we can just do what? Negative 4x squared both sides. And then that will give us what? X squared minus 3x equals to what's happening here? 0. Ladies and gentlemen, a lot of people get confused once you get to this side. So that would be equal to 0. So we end up with x squared minus 3x equals to, so what do we do now? We just got to think about factoring. Do we have anything in common for those two terms here? So we have x here and x here, yes. So we're going to use the greatest common factor, so that's the GCF. So the GCF is going to be x. So x comes out. So what do we have left? So we have divided by x and x. So we have x left here minus 3, right? Because x crossed out. This is equal to 0. Now that means what? That means you have x equals to 0. And then you have x equals to x minus 3, equals to 0. All right? So for this one, this is then x equals to a positive 3. So you have these two potential answers. Because remember, anytime you're dealing with the radical equations, that means you have potential answers, not your final answers yet. So you got to check them out. So checking means come in here, you're going to take each of the solutions, plug it back into the original equation, and see if you're going to get a true statement. So that means what? X equals to 0. So if x equals to 0, what's happening here? So you have 5 times then 0 to the second power minus 3, 0 here. This is equal to what? 2 times 0. So you have square root there. All right? So then what's happening is then we have 0 to the second power, which is 0. 0 times 5 is 0. So that means we're having 0 here minus 3 times 0, which is 0. You know, square root of that. If you want to put that back there, so 2 times 0, which is 0 also. So 0 equals to 0. So yes, this one, we have a true statement for the first one. Okay? So then for the second one, so this one is a true statement. So for the second one, so which is 3, so we have then square root of 5 times 3 to the second power minus 3 times 3 under the radical. That should be equal to what? 2 times 3. All right? So what do we have? So we have 3 to the second power, which is what? Which is 9. And 9 times 5 is 45, right? So this one here is 45 minus 3 by 3, which is 9. So that would give us what? 2 by 3, which is 6. So what is 45, minus 9? 45 minus 9 is 36 under the radical. Don't forget about that. So that is 6. So what is square root of 6? 6. 6 equals to 6. So this also is a true statement. So that means for both of them, x equal to 0, x equal to 3 are indeed solutions to the radical equation. All right? So if in case you have a false statement for any of these, that means that particular solution is not actually a solution. But in this case, both of them are true statements. So that means x equals to 0, x equals to 3 are indeed correct answers for this problem here. All right? Thank you.